Hey everybody, it's Galmadex and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be playing another premiere draft of Secrets of Strixhaven with an Alchemy card added to each pack so we can try some of the new hotness, and we've got a very good card in this pack. This is a really awkward pack to open actually, because we have Paradigm Shifter that puts one of the mythic rare lessons into your hand of your choice, or we can just take one of the mythic rare lessons. So I'm just going to take the Paradigm Shifter here so we can choose any of the 5 seminars. They're all super, super busted, and this can ramp into them early as well. It's a 2-for-1. You get this creature and you get the big Paradigm lesson. Super, super ridiculous card here. Plus, we get to play with some new Alchemy stuff, but again, kind of sad to see it in the same pack as one of the exact mythics that it conjures up, because it'd be pretty sweet to have both. Pick 2 now, very easy Stress Stream. This is a removal spell and a draw spell, both in one, so it's a great 2-for-1. Love that card. The Alchemy card was drafted here, so nothing out of Alchemy in this pack. We'll just grab Stress Stream, see if we can't play a really nice Prismari Spells deck with obviously already some ridiculous bombs thanks to the Paradigm Shifter. Pick number 3, we got a solid draw spell with Deduce. We got an efficient removal spell with Unsubtle Mockery. They aren't quite a Stress Stream because they're not both on the same card, but they're both decent. Those make the most sense to follow up with what we're doing right now. I'm going to grab the Unsubtle Mockery here. Pick number 4, there's the Tome Blast, which can clear out 2 creatures off the 1 spell, which is wonderful. We can also take a blue-red dual land, which is going to be a pretty high pick if we end up playing more than 2 colors. Still a decent card if we're only blue-red. But I like Tome Blast a lot against more aggressive strategies, so I'll grab that. Currently just a really nice Prismari control deck. Bunch of interaction and a finisher. Pick number 5, there's another Tome Blast still here. Don't mind if I do. It's a Grim Haruspex off the bonus sheet. That's a cool card, but very different from what we're doing right now. Nothing out of Alchemy. Pestbrood Sloth in green is really nice. Probably the best card in the pack. But obviously when this is what our picks look like, Tome Blast is a very nice addition to what we've got. Potioner's Trove is very good if we start splashing to a 3rd or even 4th color for Converge stuff. So I like the Potioner's Trove as the pick. I'm not into Procrastinate or Strive Scholar, so this is a little bit of a speculative pick, but a very good one if it ends up being worth it. If we end up playing more colors. Wow, I love this draft pod. We can get another Unsubtle Mockery, pick 7, or we can hop onto the Converge train of Sundering Archaic. They're both really, really good options. This Paradigm Shifter seems excellent for Converge instants and sorceries, so I'm pretty interested in playing that deck, but even if I am playing that deck, Unsubtle Mockery is going to be a good addition, so I think that's just a way safer pick. Pick number 8 now, a run behind. We've got Double Blast, Double Mockery, Stress Stream. I could absolutely just take a red-white duel over run behind here. It's not that necessary when we've already got 5 of our 7 picks being removal spells. I think I will go Fields of Strife. Pick 9, there's a Wilt in the Heat that we can play off the Fields of Strife for the Potioner's Trove. 2-mana removal, 3-mana removal, 4-mana removal, 5-mana removal, and that's the deck. All removal all day. I don't think I'm playing any of this. Fire Dancer and Stadium Title Mage are both pretty equally filler for whatever kind of deck. If we're dedicated Prismari, I think we just run a bunch of cheap removal and play slightly chunkier creatures. I'm gonna actually go Title Mage over Fire Dancer here. I'm gonna really try to be the like aggro Prismari build. Although I might take Tester if they tangential over a second Title Mage. Yeah, I think I will. Oh, you know what I just realized? Even the Paradigm Shifter helps cast Wilt in the Heat. Just 2 mana for any instant sorceries. This Paradigm Shifter seems absolutely busted, to be honest. Like, not only do you get a Mythic Lesson, but you also have, like, perfect mana fixing for your instants and sorceries. Pretty absurd card. Alright, pack 2, pick 1. The Alchemy card is not very good. 2 mana 2/2 reach. Whenever you conjure one or more cards, you get to ping your opponent for 3. But the only cards that conjure are Alchemy cards. There's only a maximum of 1 per pack, and they're not all going to conjure. We do have the Paradigm Shifter that does conjure a card, but still not going to be a lot to make that consistent. So I'd rather just grab the rare blue-red dual land here. I'd even grab another Unsubtle Mockery over Conductor, but since there is a great dual land, we'll take that instead. Pack 2, pick 2. Double white's a little difficult, but Emeritus of Truce is a very strong mythic. And in this kind of deck as well, we're going to have a really low creature count, so this is very likely to give us the Swords to Plowshares, which is when it becomes really powerful. Take that, and then we take a lot of white fixing here, and we go for a full Jeskai control deck. I'm going to grab Emeritus of Truce. Ooh, there we go. An Alchemy Is It Rare. Beautiful card. 2 mana, 2/1 flyer. Every time you cast an instant or sorcery, you give it in perpetual +1/+1. Perpetual means it's going to keep that buff even when it goes into the graveyard. And then whenever you cast a 5 mana or more spell, you can flicker it, bring it back from the graveyard to the battlefield. Super sick. It's going to be a really fun finisher for this deck. I am very excited about this deck we're playing here. Traumatic Critique, pick 4, sure. Good color pair to be in. The Archaeomancer's Spade is a really fun one too. This would put both our Tome Blasts in the grave and then be some mana to play them, so that would be fun too, but I'm not going to take it over Traumatic Critique. Consumed by History. Deal 3 damage to each creature, and when the non-creatures die, they can unearth for 5. I feel like that's pretty bad. That your opponent can then unearth everything for another swing on you. I'd rather just have Artistic Process if I want to a board wipe. This wipes only the small stuff, 2 toughness or less, but could also deal 6 to 1 card if they only have big cards. Could take another Fields of Strife, but we're getting such absurd Is It cards, getting a Phoenix of Iteration and Traumatic Critique, that there's a chance we don't even play the white also. I take Artistic Process. This draft is wild. Okay, now we can grab an Essence Scatter, a Homesickness, an Elemental Mascot. A lot of great options again. Got a lot of good ways to kill creatures after they resolve. I don't think Essence Scatter's super, super important, but being able to counter them before they have an enter the battlefield trigger is still exciting. I still think I'd rather go Homesickness, though. Get another 5 or greater for Opus stuff. Oops. We got a Black-White duel. We got another Potioner's Trove. We got an Essence Scatter. We got a Muse Seeker. Tons of good options. You know what? Yeah, I'll get another Potioner's Trove. The only thing I'm not confident about with our white is I don't know about the Emeritus, but we could definitely at least throw a random Wilt in here now that we have double Trove in a field. Pick 8, Muse Seeker, or Pursue the Past or Wilt in the Heat. I think Pursue the Past plays really, really well in these more controlling decks. Works super well with the Phoenix, too. Take a Pursue the Past. Pick number 9. Not an exciting pack whatsoever. I don't think I'll play any of this. Let's throw a Dire Dreams on the side. We'll definitely play a Brush Off. We got plenty of ways to kill creatures. We want to have some ways to counter non-creature spells that our opponents might try to kill us with, like Math Magics. Here's an Elemental Mascot. Man, this deck is going to be so sick. Like, it's basically ready. We have 19 non-land cards already. Moving to the final pack, we got the Archaeomancer Spade to throw the Tome Blast or Pursue the Past into grave. That's fun. If we get any more flashback, that's gonna be really good. There's Elite Interceptors going like last pick too. This is crazy. We're not an Elite Interceptor deck though, but this pack is just loaded with power. Or these packs. Last pick Muse Seeker too. We open a Splatter Technique. But no, I mean, look at this pack. Look at how strong these packs have been. Snarl Song, Impractical Jokes, Splatter Technique, Shared Roots, Elite Interceptor. There's so many premium cards here. What an insane draft. Dual Tactics is a very mediocre flashback spell. I don't feel the need to run that with our Spade. We can take a Deduce or a Spectacle Summit here. I'm going to grab the Spectacle Summits. We're doing just phenomenally on our spells. So when we have opportunities to take good fixing, unless it's a really good spell, we'll just take that fix. Oh my god, second Traumatic Critique. Don't mind if I do. We might still just cut. I mean, look at how much power is in just blue-red still. Splatter Technique, Double Traumatic Critique, Paradigm Shifter, Phoenix of Iteration. This is just crazy. Just crazy stuff. I don't mind Strife Knight or Heated Argument here. Double Blast, Double Mockery, Double Critique, Process, Dream, Technique. I think I take the creature actually over that additional 5 mana burn. Grab the Strife Knight to do some looting. Visionary's Dance, I'll absolutely play that here. Actually, Tablet of Discovery is really sick in this deck too. The double red for instant sorceries, the potential draw. I'm gonna go Visionary's Dance over it though. I think that looks really good on our curve at 2 or 7. Another really sick card, Advanced Floral Invocations, looks super, super fun if you get to be a Witherbloom deck. So you play it and you're going to keep milling yourself, and then you're going to keep buffing all the creatures in your grave, and once you level it up to level 3, you can start casting all the creatures in your grave, which are probably really big at that point because of all your landfall triggers up till then. So that seems like a really fun card to try. I'm probably not going to play any of this. Spell Pierce is the closest, but that's really matchup dependent. So I'm not the biggest Spell Pierce fan, but it's reasonable. Pick 7 other Fields of Strife. Or Sky Coach too. Jeez Louise. Take a Sky Coach. Another Visionary's Dance. I'm not going to play 3 Tester of the Tangential. Hydro Channeler, better than Page at the very least for this deck. Bunch of mid stuff. Dual Tactics is a flashbacker if I still want to do the White Splash Spade nonsense, but I don't think it's a great one. Just go ahead and wheel the Heated Argument we were thinking about taking. I kind of want to be stupid and just cut every single creature. Just go 100% spells just to send a message. The problem is the best Paradigm cards, you have to have creatures for them to work. Basically all of the Paradigm cards you have to have creatures. The only one that you don't is the double black one where you draw extra cards. But the blue Paradigm card is makes a clone every turn. So the white one, you reanimate something from grave every turn. The blue one makes a clone of a creature every turn. The black one, you draw cards. The red one, you keep casting spells for free, but again, you need to have creatures to actually kill your opponent. I guess just the blue, white, and green like really need creatures specifically. Could you play that for the red one? Okay. 9 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. Cut 7 creatures. A Sky Coach without anything to crew it. I've got the double Visionaries Dance as late game creatures. Okay, I feel like definitely Mascot Title Mage is fine. Page is fine. Testers are fine. Strife Knight's fine. I want to go really low creature count here. That just sounds really fun to me. Maximum Spellslinger control. I think this deck can do it. Double Critique as the finisher, and of course Paradigm Spell potentially. Could almost be triple Critique thanks to Lorecaster. I can't resist. I'm just gonna go like the no creature control build. Play something really different. We've got 18 red cards, 10 blue, 4 white. 5, 6, 7, 8 red sources, 6, 7, 8 blue sources, 3, 4 white sources. I can drop a white for another red. Call it a deck there, hop into the game, play it, see how far this super sweet looking build can take us. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 1. Use this Pursue the Past to find some removal if they're a quick deck. We've got the Trove to get whatever colors we need. They are not a quick deck, they start with a duel. Just discard the second Pursue. Alright, this looks like a great start. Trove. They cycle their Visionaries Dance to look at the top 2, put one in hand, and the other into the graveyard. This would be the one, like, matchup I'm pretty concerned about. I think we have a really good matchup against aggro. I am not confident in our mirror matchup. Do I really want to hold up a brush off for a 4-drop? Nah, I'm probably going to brush off something else later. Just do this again. Beautiful. Traumatic Critique. Color Storm Stallion. Okay. Surprisingly enough, we've drawn 0 removal so far. Any 1 mana? What is the 1 mana white instant? It's +2/+2. That would be really weird to see after green, blue, red, white. They also have a 1 white mana combat trick. But if I don't kill it now, they get a second copy playing a 5 mana card next turn, so I think I have to try. That would be brutal if they do have a 1 white mana instant. That'd also be super weird from the mana we've seen from them. Okay, cool. They're just full control mode. Splatter technique. Well, then we would have been fine if they made a duplicate. We could splatter all of them. Cycle another Visionaries Dance. They're at 5 out of 7 mana for hardcast, and they still go for the cycle. Looking for a black source, I suppose. Pass the turn. There's going to be a whole lot of that to go around in this matchup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I can cast a 4 mana spell, still have a brush off for anything. So I can pursue with brush off up. Sure. Let me just start tome blasting their face. Just tome blast you, Lorecaster back a traumatic thing, and then traumatic you, draw the other traumatic you. Ah, there we go. Phoenix of Iteration you is a much simpler plan. I'm 1 mana off from having the brush off up. That's fine. I think I'm still going to pick that up now that I have a Phoenix. Yeah, I will, because even if they kill the Phoenix, it just comes back. It's just only if they exile the Phoenix that I won't have that as my win condition. You rode a Lorecaster, give me a mana, sure. Sundering Archaic, not the exile, dude. I despise you, opponent. I hope you uninstall Arena. Get mockried. I'll take a 3/3 Flying Haste at this point. I don't need a homesickness. That can duplicate all of their instants and sorceries. I can't really allow that. Can make it so every next instant sorcery they cast, they can double it by spending an additional blue-red, which is quite bad. If I just make 1 hasty flyer, the odds of them just having removal left are really high. Then we make them cash and removal on this thing instead. Okay, they don't have instant speed removal at least. Excuse me. Could have splattered Drew 4, but that's chill. Okay. 5, 6. There's gonna be a lot of do in this video, so be prepared for that. I get my last Tome Blast in a grave if I do this. Makes me more likely to draw my Visionary's Dances a little quicker. Okay. They're gonna braid my Sky Coach. They're looking at it. cast a spell that makes like 23 threes. I'll be so happy. Oh, they are dead to our second Traumatic Critique if we draw that. Forgot we got 2. Yeah, we've got plenty of ways to win. If we draw a Visionary's Dance soon, just tripping in with those flyers, they're at 12. That won't take too long. We have 2 copies of Visionary's Dance. We also have Traumatic Critique that would just do it by itself immediately. It's a Stress Stream. That can help us dig for one of those win conditions. That is not one of those. But hey. Just Tome Blast this mascot. Gain 4. Technically should be doing this in our end step. We still have a Wilt and the Heat up until the end step. Stun my 3/3 and they draw a couple cards. There's no card that I despise more in this whole set. There just really isn't. 0-1 heading into game 2. Alright, here we are for game 2 with a really excellent hand, starting with the turn 2 Phoenix of Iteration. Just get that card rolling. I think this hand has a great matchup against pretty much anything. The Phoenix is going to be chipping away against the slower decks. We've got the Tome Blast to slow down the faster decks. The Traumatic Critique works against either, depending on how quickly we need to cast it. Will depend on what our opponent's playing. They are playing a black deck. Black-red. Okay, it's a slower deck, because black and red do not line up. Get the Phoenix down. Ooh, this is going to be nice, an early Archaeomancer Spade. Fill that grave with some flashback options. Okay, they didn't exile it, so I'll be able to bring that back soon enough. When I spend 5 or more mana, so when I do a Tome Blast from grave off of the Archaeomancer Spade. Oh, wow. I just realized the Spade, the only thing that it can't do is cast spells from hand. It can be used on abilities. It's not like this is only flashback mana. You can also discard a Visionary's Dance to the Spade, which is pretty cool. Alright, we can Spade kill something with Tome Blast and pick up our Phoenix, which will definitely be the play. Maybe they are just a straight up black-red deck. They're just playing off college. That would be cool. That would be very neat. But I see black and red, and I immediately assume they're like 4-color. And they just hit a couple of the off colors from each other. Just Tome Blast. Okay, destroying that is fine. I will just bring it back immediately by shooting face. Phoenix of Iteration is so cool. There's the concession from our opponent. That is 1-1 heading to game 3. Alright, here we are for game 3. No white source in the opening hand, but Paradigm Shifter can cast our white instants and sorceries if they don't kill him. Playing against a green deck. With the turn 1/1/1. Oh god, with the turn 1 6/6. I live in fear. Quandrix it is, green blue. They pass. Well, get a tap land out of the way. Just deduce from our opponent. How does the red seminar work? Because I think that's what we have to choose. Exile until you exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater. You can cast any number of spells without paying their mana costs. If I don't cast any of them, then they're exiled forever. Okay, that might just get us milled in this deck, honestly. Okay, there's Potioner's Trove for another way to get the white. Trove would allow us to Artistic Process next turn and kill the 6/6 before it demolishes us, but then we're letting the Silver Tongue pop off if they get any more life gain. And Paradigm Shifter isn't exactly going to kill the Silver Tongue next turn either. The Shifter could technically get us to cast Artistic Process next turn, but that's only if they don't kill it. They're much more likely to have a way to blow up a creature than an artifact here. So I think we play the artifact ramp. Now they could just have a counter spell up. Yeah. Let's see. This looks like a rough matchup for our Tome Scour. For our Tome Blasts. Not Tome Scour. Tome Scour is like a random mill card. We've not seen a 2 toughness card yet. Yeah, there's another 3 toughness card, and that triggers the Silver Tongue to give them the card draw if we don't kill it next turn. Come on, top deck removal. We got a ton in here. That is not removal. God dang it. I could pursue the past and draw into removal. What are my options to kill Silver Tongue? The Tome Blasts don't work. But I have 2 copies of Unsettled Mockery that would work, and a Wilt in the Heat that would work. I guess I wouldn't have the white for the Wilt in the Heat, though, so that wouldn't work. So I'd have to hit one of my 2 Unsettled Mockeries. That's pretty unlikely. So just Lorecaster back, Artistic Process, and pass. They only have double black, so they can't Sign in Blood twice, even if they gain the life again. They can't, like, double Sign in Blood this turn. They know we have the Artistic Process as well, which means that they need to use the Sign in Blood now if they want to get it done before that card dies. Down to 12. Another Potioner's Trove. Oh, they have a Brush Off up too. Gross. That's not good. I assume Brush Off because they have double blue and 2, and then, yeah, it was holding for the Trove. I mean, with gain 4 life every single turn off of these troves. We could still survive those flyers. That turn actually might have been really, really awful if they countered Trove. But then, like, eventually we would resolve Artistic Process, but then it's like, we tapped ourselves out of process. Another flyer. Where are my deal 4s? I have so many. 2. I have 2, and I have a Wilt in the Heat to deal 5. It's just so awkward. The Tome Blasts don't do anything, because that means that Spade isn't worth even playing here. Visionary's Dance is... But they haven't really had to spend any removals. They can probably kill at least one of these flyers. You know what's interesting? I could Paradigm Shifter into the green Paradigm and immediately cast it because it's 5 mana. I've got 8. Don't think that matters. Random Alchemy green fight spell. And then a Tam. Land for the Tam ability. They don't have the mana to play it, though. Send in the team. Well, they definitely have a combat trick here, so we might as well stop more damage. Okay, that's surprising. I lied. They don't have a trick. Just expected one since the tongue was coming in too, but actually it's just because they have that much damage going on. Okay, okay. My only white mana is off of the Troves, so I can only gain 2 here, whatever I play. So I can Wilt and Paradigm Shifter and gain 2, I guess. It's not the red one, it's the blue or the white, but if I pick the blue and they just have 1 removal spell, then the blue doesn't do anything anyway. So I think it's the white one. Oh my god, they got an alchemy card that learns a lesson and they have the mythic lesson. These alchemy drafts are just like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god. Think we have any way out of that at 1 life now? Could even like sign in blood our face. Yeah, I mean, we're just so dead. It's unfortunate. Alright. 1-2, head into game 4. Alright, Phoenix of Veneration is going to take a little while to get going. We need to wait for the Sky Coach, but this is still definitely a keep. Draw the 4th mountain as our first draw of the game. There we go. We hit the island right on time for Phoenix, though. Be pretty happy if they spend any kind of removal to put it in grave, because we have tons of ways to bring it back in this deck. Yep, that is going to be good value for us eventually. There's their Sky Coach. They are blue, red, and green. Oh, we find our white source naturally, so we can Sky Coach for blue. Shared roots for white. Yep, just full converge. Now how it is, Secrets of Strixhaven .exe. Charging Strife Knight. Well, somewhere to throw our Unsubtle Mockery. Mill a card. Maybe I actually should have Tome Blasted face, and maybe I should do it now just so I've got a 5-mana spell to bring this Phoenix back. Well, I'm not going to. I'm gonna greed it up. Oh no! My lands. It's probably the weakest Arcane Omens for 5 I've ever been hit by. Normally unbeatable in the mirror match, but it did basically nothing there. In fact, it kind of helped. Because it gave me just the Tome Blast. It made that decision for me that I was unsure about. Transcendent Archaic, on the other hand, is a huge problem. Draw 5, discard 2, so they're up another 3 cards. It's a 4 for 1. Man. The Arcane Omens did keep me from my 6th mana, so that is something here. No homesickness up. Even if they counter this, we get our creature back. Interesting. I keep the Spade because it's going to give me another Tome Blast. At least it's like a 50-50 to give me another Tome Blast. Beautiful. Go, Phoenix of Iteration, go. No exile removal one time. It's not exile removal. Tome Blaster right back. Flow state for the big draw. Poke me with the Sky Coach. Can Homesickness it back even if they counter Homesickness? It's probably better than Tome Blasting the face. Can respond by crewing their Sky Coach, but that's okay. Heated Argument, which again does not exile it. Yep. It's going to be around. But will it stick around long enough for us to not die? Cast Visionary's Dance here. And we got plenty of blockers too. Wipe our whole board, reanimate their 6/6. Fastest trade in the West. Ooh, okay. Splatter technique holding up brush off for 2 and picking up my thing. Honestly, just do the 1-for-1 here rather than drawing cards with how low we are in library and how Lorecaster can pick something up. I was not even thinking about this part. But that's a huge buff too, the fact that I can actually kill the 6/6 and the 4/4. I think that would have been worth it even just killing the 4/4. Visionary's Dance, that'll give them the blockers for the Phoenix. Oof, Paradigm Shifter with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I need 6 mana up to cast one though, because I don't have any green mana. Can't like pick the green one here. Play this, hold a blocker up and hold a brush off up. Yeah, I mean that's worth it. Perpetual buffs will apply to copies, right? I don't even know if I want to do that though, because if I copy Paradigm Shifter, I keep putting more Symposiums in my hand, so that's just even better. Okay, well, I'm living in magical Christmas land here, unless they like get to Mathemagics me when I don't have a brush off up. Oh no. Buff the whole board plus and plus O every time they cast an instant or sorcery. I might have to counter that, and then I would die to a Mathemagics. If I do, they've only got one other card in their hand. I'm gonna allow it. It's not Mathemagics. Or the mill thingy. Oh, thank God I didn't counter that. Oh, they get buffed for each color spent on it too? Oh, maybe I should have. I would have been in a really bad spot either way. Yikes. Okay. If I copy a Paradigm Shifter, do I get another spell? I really want to test it for science, but I have to not die. I have to not die also. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. If I tap Shifter, I can only cast one spell no matter what. Kind of feel like I have to cast Visionary's Dance and not attack. If I lore cast her, I get a 2 mana card back. I don't even have a 2 mana card. I could lore cast her back a brush off, but if they cast anything, I'm gonna die to Archaic's ability anyway. You know what? I'm gonna go Lorecaster, because I can Lorecaster Brush Off, and then I can Symposium next turn on Lorecaster. But I am dead to them spending 5 different colors of mana on a spell. On an instant or sorcery, specifically. Because the Trample will kill me. I have to put the 10 toughness card on the like 8/3, but then the Trample all gets over on the other one. Oh, thank God. We might be cooking. I can bring this back with Lorecaster anyway. Okay, that doesn't kill Archaic. Symposium with 3 mana up now. I can get the deal 4 card. So I can kill the flyer and then block the giant trampler with everyone else. I'm assuming whatever's on top here would kill me if I did not have a counterspell or a removal spell. So they're thinking very hard about it. I don't want to mill out. I'm not going to surreal anything to the grave. Now we are just completely locked in for the win. There's nothing they can do. And there's the concession from our opponent. Nutty stuff. These alchemy rares are so absurd. It's not even funny, and we are now 2-2 heading into game 5. Here we are for game 5. Phoenix of Iteration for days. Let's go. Scheming Silver Tongue, turn 2. I have got to find a way to kill that fast. I can't kill it till turn 5, and we're on the draw, so I can't kill it till really late. Okay, at least they didn't trigger it immediately. Crew 2, so we can hold back here to keep the Silver Tongue off of us. Yeah, let's play the spade. Mill a couple non-lands to be slightly more likely to hit land 5. And the spade can pay for our Visionaries dances. Witherbloom it is from our opponent. There's the forest. Gives them Zamone's Experiment to ramp. Pick up 2 lands. They just go big ramp with that. Alright, let's cycle a dance to make sure we have land 5. We definitely do. Got just as much of each color right now. Just grab another blue, I guess. Stress stream that thing. Draw splatter technique. Wonderful position now. I don't think I'm cycling the second Visionaries dance at this rate. Okay, just a frog, a bear. What is the final card? Nothing yet. One mana from hardcasting Visionaries dance. Don't mind Pursue, discarding Pursue. Keep the land to guarantee the Visionaries dance next turn. If we can get the Phoenix up to 6 toughness, or 5 toughness even, we can splatter everything but the Phoenix. So I don't really want to Unsubtle Mockery something. I'm going to splatter them. So yeah, I'll cast Splatter. This is now going to be 5 toughness before Splatter resolves. Oh wow, and it's going to kill Lewin and all the Lewin tokens. Oh, this is going to be brutal. This is going to be such a good Splatter technique. Absolutely filthy. Sorry, Witherbloom. It was not your day. It was not your format, really. Completely disgusting. Now they're like 100% playing off the top while we still have like 6 cards in hand and a Tome Blast engrave. If you had to pick a card to top deck, a 3/4 with a regrowth attached to it would be a pretty good choice. Nothing in their grave is good enough to flip this back in their favor, but not a bad draw. Pick up their draw too, draw a couple creatures off it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. I think I'm like 1 damage off from killing them with Critique here. So let's just Mockery that creature. Put another Tome Blast engrave. Drop a Trove. Tome Blast the face. Alright, they're down to 4. There's the concession from our opponent. Phoenix of Iteration continues to be just the most disgusting card. And we are 3-2 heading into game 6. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 6. And we have the most important card in the whole deck. Phoenix of Iteration. On the play on turn 2. With an Unsubtle Mockery to immediately buff it. Stress Stream to bring it back when they kill it. Burst Lightning's fine. We love to see 1/1 removal that puts it into the grave. Because that means that we just 2/1 them when we Stress Stream. Which is technically a 3/1 because it's already a 2/1. Living history from our opponent. Our deck has an incredible late game, so I'm tempted to Mockery that immediately just to defend ourselves as much as possible, but top decking Potioner's Trove means if we cast that, we get to Stress Stream next turn and immediately bring back the Phoenix, which feels better. Alright, so we'll kill the Strife Knight here. Bring back the Phoenix. Draw another card. Double Trove should be pretty hard to outrace. So next turn I can play a Trove and a Mockery. We don't get any life next turn, but we really have our mana set up, and then we'll start gaining a bunch of life from then on. Sure, Historian is the Mockery target. I think Spade's good enough to keep. Play for the long game here and keep Phoenix up as a blocker. Drop a Spirit Mascot. If they exile a card from their grave, I'm just going to take the trade. Just buying as much time as I can. Yep, that does not exile Phoenix, so I'm very happy with that exchange. We get a Tome Blast, and we Tome Blast the Spirit Mascot. And then Phoenix is back. Wild Growth's archaic. I don't have a Tome Blast for that one, but I can wilt it, gain a couple, and still have a brush off, a small brush off up. Six to a creature. I don't need to brush that off because I can bring it back from grave again. So I'm going to save brush off for something that could be worse for me. Pick up a Stress Dream because we can spend 5 on that and bring the Phoenix back. Scrollsmith, what are you playing? Artistic Process next turn, sure. I could save the Stress Stream now by going Tome Blast to face. The Phoenix is out of reach. The Phoenix is bigger than the Artistic Process now, too. They can't even deal 6 to it. Good lord. We are 4-2 now, heading into Game 7. Alright, here we are on the draw now for Game 7. Reasonable defensive opener. Just a bunch of removal and then a 6-drop. Playing against a green deck with a Terramorphic Expanse. I expect many colors. Green, red. Well, they're definitely at least 3 colors because green and red are not a college. In fact, they're so far apart that implies they're playing like a 4-color deck. Well, no, they could be green, blue, red. I lied. Green, blue, red would be green, blue, and blue, red in the same deck. Okay, yeah. Green, blue, red, they're Studious first year. Don't mind a critique on first year here. Stop the ramp. Ditch an island. Four colors now. Spectacular Sky Whale. We will mock that. Find a homesickness, sure. Reasonable draw when we got this much mana. Poke us for 2. Play in a meal. And then we kill that. Before they make a bunch of tokens with it. There's Tam. If I get the Spade here, I can shoot Biomancer, but Tam gets to stick around and get a trigger. If they draw a land, they haven't played a land the past couple turns. I think I'm just going to Lorecast her. I think it's our best, like, guaranteed play here. Lorecaster back Critique. That can kill Tam and draw us a couple cards. No, they top decked the land right on time to get that Tam trigger before Tam dies. The Snappest block of snap blocks that would tap them out of using their Tam ability. I'm more than happy to trade 1 for 1 with my card that already picked something up from grave. Yeah, I think that block actually went really, really well for us. Well, now that I drew a Wilt in the heat, I can do that instead. Uh-oh, they've got some piece of interaction up here. Nope, we actually do kill the Tam. Tenured Concoctor. They draw a card every time I target that, which I don't love. Gonna do it anyway, because I gotta stay alive. Drew a flashback card, that's beautiful. Uh-oh. Okay, they don't have the 5 mana to immediately do anything else with the Stallion. I also don't have removal for it in hand. I cycle Visionary's Dance to look for a way to kill that. We have another Traumatic Critique. We have a Mockery. We have a Splatter Technique. We have a Stress Stream. Yeah. Because they play 5 mana cards, they make full copies of it, and they can just make more and more and more copies. Thank goodness. Find the Mockery. And then there's Paradigm Shifter to wrap this game up. 3 mana to cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have enough to play it and then immediately copy it. And that should be the win. Do I have a Phoenix in my grave? No, we haven't drawn Phoenix this game. Okay. Let's just pass through then. With Brush Off up. I don't need to brush off a draw 3. Actually technically pretty fine. Then I can just reanimate it instead. And then when I reanimate it, I get the thing that makes clones of it. And this will actually make it so I can wait until I have Brush Off up when I cast Seminar. I can cast Seminar and still have 1 and a blue up. Random 4 mana creature. Make me sack this thing. I am at 9 life. Like, as much as I want to hold this Brush Off for a Mathemagics, this might be enough to justify brushing off here. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to Homesickness whatever they get. Oh, that's a pretty good one. It's a very fitting card, too. Quandrix Cultivator. Oh, beautiful. 2 creatures, perfect for Homesickness. Restoration Seminar with 1 and a blue up. Just do that. And get Echo Casting as well. The fact that Paradigm Shifter like combos with itself is insane. Like if it's in your grave, it gives you the way to get it out of your grave. When it's on the board, it gives you the way to clone it and keep getting more Paradigm cards. It's just actually completely nuts. I just go for Wilt in the Heat some here, something cheap enough to immediately clear out one of those threats. Let's go Echo Casting, holding up Brush Off. Okay, that's fine. The Echo Casting card still resolves, so I don't need to counter that. So I will save Brush Off for something that I need to counter. Because I still have 2 Paradigm cards triggering every single turn. Should be basically unbeatable as long as they don't play something like Math Magics that literally just says you lose, period. Regardless of what's happening on board. I've just been burned so many times by that card that I live in fear. So Phoenix is going to trigger every time that we're doing our Echo Casting thing. I shouldn't have tapped that. I tapped out of the ability to counter a creature, but I can still counter an instant or sorcery. Removal spell is fine. It's awkward it has indestructible for the whole turn, but definitely fine. I don't need to play it that safe with Potioner's Trove. Oh, I don't think it matters how I order it, right? Oh no, it does. Yeah, if I resolve that first, then I can copy the Phoenix. Okay, the copy does not get the perpetual buffs, sadly. Stock up means they're going to have seen almost their entire deck at this point. Tam's fine. Alright, they're super done on board. Well, not exactly, but they are super dead to double critique in hand. Plus our board. Just always hold brush off up like a coward. Like, what are they going to have for 1 black mana? I don't know. But might as well hold this up because they're so dead. Even if I don't shoot them for maximum. This deck is absurd. Can you believe we were 1 and 2 with this deck? I can't believe it. We are 5 and 2 now, heading into game number 8. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 8. This hand could go wrong. If we're against aggro, we just have that 1 mockery, but we do gain a couple life off an early Pursue the Past, and that can give us some card selection where if we're against a really aggressive strategy, ditching like the 6 mana or X mana card to look for immediate impact will be helpful. I think this hand looks like very flexible and solid for most matchups. It's got options. Double Mountain into Visionary Stance, okay. Most sets you see mountains and you're like, oh god, it's gonna be aggressive, but then you see a Visionary Stance and it's like, nah, this is Strixhaven, we're fine. I think I'm okay to just Fields of Strife and get the tap line out of the way instead of pursuing right now. Triple Mountain still stuck off the blue over there. Seize the spoils, discarding another blue card, drawing 2, getting a treasure. We'll go ahead and pursue our 3rd island. Actually, our 4th island. Good lord. Paint Mage and a Muse Seeker. It's going to be a decent splatter technique. Yeah, I don't really want to... I don't really want to play any 1-for-1 removal when I've got a splatter technique coming up next turn, so I'm going to allow them to do whatever they want with Paint Mage, and I'm just going to pursue... Pursue is pretty tempting, and I think that's what I'm going to do. This card of Plains, we just have a Sky Coach for mana too. You know what? No, I'm casting Splatter Technique this turn. We might actually just discard Sky Coach. Just kind of blanked out for a second because our opponents... Okay, they are here. Our opponent just hasn't done anything. Just realized I got completely lost in my thoughts. Visionary's Dance is so good for me. That was actually what I was hoping for. But I didn't want to get like too greedy and say it out loud. Be like, yeah, just make some tokens. Oh, for Paint Mage. That was an incredible turn for us. We can Lorecaster back a splatter technique next turn. There's a Tackle Artist. I think I'm pretty happy to Mockery the Artist and just play the Paradigm Shifter here. Resonating Loot, double up their mana for spells. Do you have the removal? Even if you don't, my Symposium will be going off every turn from now on. I should have tapped the Paradigm Shifter there. Okay, they have the actual counterspell. Ew. Well, that's what Lorecaster's for then. Crescendo Conductor. They can bolt wave me every time they conjure a card. I was about to say second counterspell. No. It's just a 3/3 flyer and a Surveil 2. They're keeping one on the top. Picking up Echo Cast and Symposium for sure. Could critique the Conductor for 2. I just don't think that matters. Let's just pursue the past. Good cards, a Potioner's Trove and a Stress Dream. Take our 3, go back to 20. Did you find the additional counterspell? I forgot about the Shifter mana too. So we'll still have 2 up after everything. Heated argument, that's fine. Symposium still pops off. I guess I'll just gain the Trove life since we had the extra mana. Now we just Symposium on the Shifter to get the white Paradigm card that resurrects the Lorecaster. Dang. It really drew out of that. I mean, we're still in a massive lead, but that was good. I should have got my mana out of it. Where's our Phoenix? I have not played my other Traumatic Critique either, though, so I could just, like, critique them for 10 and then critique them for 10, and that'll do it, too. So that's probably the plan right now. Just wait till their end step and critique their face. 1, 2... We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me see if I have 9 and I just miscounted. Nope. Cool. Forgot about our double Visionaries Dance. That's another very real draw there. Okay, just draw one and add a bunch of mana? Okay. I don't understand any of these words. Starting intensity, cover cast. I'm like, what is happening? All right, that is 6 and 2. Recovered from a 1-2 start into making it all the way to the final battle. We are 6 and 2 heading to the last game of Magic for this draft, whether we win or lose. All right, here we are for that final game of Magic. Pray we're not against aggro, because we don't do anything till turn 4, because we need to Sky Coach into the red. They start with a Titan's Grave. Follow up with a Swamp, so it could just be straight Witherbloom. Yeah, which is kind of aggressive because it's just a 2-color pair. Uh-oh. We have not drawn the red source naturally, so it is going to be a slow start on the draw here. Take that 2, go to 18. Oh boy, and they're curving on us with a Planeswalker too. Loomrat into Ral Zarek. Oh no. Okay, red source is a good draw. I can't shoot Ral, though, with Unsubtle Mockery. So, play a Phoenix and pass, because that'll hold the Bogwater Luminate off of us. Or we could trade and then they can minus and bring the Bogwater Luminate back, but we could bring the Phoenix back too. Then by minusing Ral, Ral's low enough that we can shoot Ral for 2 with Traumatic Critique, because that can shoot any target. Or Artistic Process, the Hasty Flyer could attack Ral if we get Ral to minus at some point. If Ral ever hits the ultimate, we lose. Skip our next up to 5 turns. Basically, they take an extra 2 turns after this on average with their ultimate. Snap is to trade in the west. Send in the pest. Goodbye, Ireland. Another Lumaret? Sure. Okay. Got double red, got double blue, got double white. Yeah, I don't need the Sky Coach land yet still. So we can go Mockery now, and then we can Critique. Next turn would reanimate our thing as well. I don't hate drawing another land, but I've got the 5th land for next turn is really important, and the turn after I could Sky Coach it up, I guess.
Opportunities are everywhere.
We pray they tap out here, so that we know we can haste attack Ral. Okay, at least Ral's not at 7 loyalty yet, so even if they do have the instant speed removal for the flyer, we can hit them. Okay, if they do have instant speed removal for the flyer, Ral still doesn't ult yet. And then they also have to kill Phoenix of Iteration. Needs to be double removal in hand. Okay. They have to have removal here as well.
Always pay attention.
We do get to Traumatic Critique him if they kill Phoenix. Okay. Let's Traumatic Critique him and reanimate Phoenix again.
Objection.
Tome Blast is another way to pick up the Phoenix, and we'll have exactly 7 mana, so I could double Tome Blast Ral and pick up Phoenix. Okay, they're giving up on the ultimate. They're going to get the extra value. Picking up the Lumaret, playing a Tragedy Feaster. Well, I can trade Phoenix into the Tragedy Feaster then. That is the 6th power I need.
You owe me.
I'm a little tempted to just kill the Lumaret here. But then I don't have the 5 mana spell engraved to bring back the Phoenix. I can get one with Archaeomancer Spade, but to have extra ones feels pretty valuable. Snappest of trades. Okay, they'll draw a card off the Scholar. That's pretty good. Take a bunch of damage. We're down to 9. When this dies, all of your permanents and grave gain when it enters, you draw a card and gain a life. So if they have other ways to like reanimate stuff, they can do things with that, I guess. Cool. Let's draw some cards. Good stuff. Tome Blast and still have Brush Off up. Yeah, we gotta get rid of the Death Touch. Osteomancer is really nice after I just buffed all their creatures in grave. Some good synergy from the Witherbloom over there. I could brush off the Raised Dead, I guess. Is that insane to do? I mean, they're green-black. They're not going to have a Mathemagics in this matchup. So there are cards that can be pretty bad for me, but nothing that can literally just insta-kill me. I want to draw a card here. Pretty bad. Sure. Now we're racing. Pest Brood Sloth. That's huge. That's a big trumper. Visionary's Dance is also huge. Get their life gain trigger. Let's see what that's for. Oh, just the card draw trigger off another Essence Knit Scholar. I think I can lethal if I draw for this instead of killing my creatures. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, Traumatic Kachik for sure can lethal. They don't instant speed removal. Cool. Oh my god. I was a little nervous to do that there because I'm like, Splatter Technique is such a safe play. Just as deal 4 there. Make it so they have no board and I just hit them for like 15 still. There's some random cards there that probably could have gotten me really bad. Like if I went for that attack and then they did have removal on Phoenix, and then I have to like post combat be like, kill that, with no blockers held up. So I don't know if that was the right play, but it ended the game a little faster, so we'll take it. Well, this deck was absurd. We did get a couple losses. They were both early on. Just did not. I think when we lost to the Mathemagics deck, I think the biggest way we managed to lose there was that they had exile removal. If I remember correctly, that was the match they had exile removal for the Phoenix of Iteration. So normally in like a really, really long game of Magic, we can pull ahead and win with Phoenix and Paradigm Shifter type stuff. But like if they blank the Phoenix, like that is huge. That's really, really bad for us. And then obviously Mathemagics is just an auto win in the mirror match when you don't have the brush off at the right time. That's the only loss I really, really remember was the Mathemagics loss. The other one, maybe we got aggroed too fast, or it was just another game where they managed to pull ahead in the late game because we didn't have these win conditions. I don't know. This deck was so good, though. These Alchemy Prismari rares are absolutely busted. I think both of these cards can individually win a game single-handedly so easily. These things are just ridiculous. And this was a really good Phoenix of Iteration deck. It has so many cards that can trigger it and bring it back because you get to count the double Tome Blast as well. Plus, we have the Spade that tutors out basically at least one Tome Blast each time. Really fun stuff, really cool stuff from the deck. Spade was a pretty big overperformer. I thought it was going to be more cute than anything, but it actually put in some work pulling out those Tome Blasts to consistently have them. And it had the additional flexibility I didn't even realize of being able to cycle our Visionaries dances, get the card draw out of them, so that was really cool. I think Archaeomancer Spade was a lot of fun in here. Obviously the Troves were excellent. All the removal spells were excellent. The counter spell was great. If there's anything that I would want to change about this deck at all to make it maybe like perfect, if I could remove a one of like one Sky Coach or one, I mean, I like everything in this deck. One Sky Coach or one Pursuer, something like that for like another brush off. I think just a little bit more protection against Mathemagic style win cons in this deck could be near perfect. This thing was ridiculous. Super sweet run, and another trophy run in these Alchemy Premier drafts. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.